Hello, everyone. This is Tijen Genco. I am Master Certified Coach and Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach. In today's discussion, I have two wonderful coaches with me, and they actually been through my Genco Method Neurologic Approach to Coaching, taking beyond Polyvagal Theory. They also actually take in the first part of that neurologic approach coach training, but this one we will be more focusing on the taking beyond Polyvagal Theory. And our intention is to give you audience some ideas about how the participant experience is look like for that training that I offer, as well as how it impacts the coach's ability to understand themselves as well as their clients. So welcome, Gaby. Welcome, Nanor. It's beautiful to have you here.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
To be here.
And why don't we start for two of you to introduce yourselves to the audience. Let's start with you, Gaby.
Tijen, thank you for having me. So my name is Gaby Zavala. I'm a first-generation Latina from Mexico, and my expertise lies in working with Latinos and really try to help Latinos get unstuck, embrace their authenticity, and to really have a harmonious life.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Gaby. And what about you, Nanor?
So yeah, thank you for having me here as well, Tijen. I'm very excited to do this little interview today. So I've been coaching for about 9 years, and I'm a PCC coach through ICF. And I love to work with individuals, entrepreneurs. Actually, my favorite are the high potential employees that are like going to be moving up to the next level. I love to work with them to just like uncover what's in the way, help them be unstoppable to get to, their goals and desires.
Beautiful. Well, welcome again, both. So let's start with talking about what made you decide to attend this training. So why don't we start with you this time, Nanor?
What made me attend this training, well, first is you. I just, to be quite honest, it's you. I want to emulate more of what you do, the magic that you bring. I want to bring that to my coaching. I love how deeply you coach and how you get to the heart of the matter. And I know your classes are going to support me in getting to that level as well. And but the other reason why I chose this particular class, the Polyvagal Theory, is recently my autonomic nervous system kind of went haywire, and I thought this class will help me understand it better. And if I can regulate it, then I can learn more about it and be able to help others when I'm encountered in those situations with some of my clients. That was the main reason.
Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for that, Nanor. And what about you, Gaby?
So I chose to enroll in this particular course because I really wanted to develop a deeper understanding of the nervous system for myself. And I think also improve my verbal and nonverbal communications, when engaging with clients. And really, I think it has helped me really better support my clients in partnering with them and provide really more of a comprehensive coaching for my clients. So, and not only it helped me just become more aware of myself and my immune system, but also my nervous system, but then also obviously then it'll trickle down to my clients where I'm able to support them as well. So it's phenomenal. I loved it.
Thank you. Glad to hear that feedback. And then maybe you're creating already a segue for us for my next question was going to be about how would you describe the impact of this training for yourself and views of life as well as your self-expression?
Very good
In
question.
contrast before and after.
So I think for this particular course, I think it was just so amazing to be able to identify my triggers. I think my awareness was heightened to where I'm able to identify my triggers, which are then associated with my needs, which is then looking at really being able to acknowledge them, and then looking a little bit further and thinking about it. You know, what is this doing for me now? Is this still working, you know, as a way to as I'm being triggered? So then being able to coach myself to be able to then maybe open up new neural pathways to then look at it in a different perspective. So I think it really, really helped me really take a close look at myself and identify those triggers to then be able to figure out, why is my nervous system so out of balance? And how do I then, it's very empowering, I think, to me to be able to say, I can switch back and forth from, you know, if I'm feeling that I can't really move, if I'm feeling that I'm not able to do something for myself, how do I move myself from one place to the next? So I think it's very empowering, and it speaks to like the self-efficacy part of coaching and helping not only yourself, but your clients as well. So it's very empowering, I think, to be able to be aware of that process and be able to incorporate it, not only for myself, but through my clients. So I get chills just thinking about it, how it just has helped me so much.
Beautiful, thank you. Yeah, that was my intention, right? It's in the description of the training that I often say that the choices we have are not always available if we are reacting to the environment, because that's the autonomic response. And if we're not aware of that, then we're not really having a choice in the matter. And one of my students was saying to me that you are a nervous system whisperer, and you made us to become nervous system whisperers after this training. So that what you're sharing with me made me think of that. Thanks, Gaby. And what about you, Nanor?
Yeah, I think, so for me, the impact is actually what you just shared, Tijen. So, you know, when I thought, you know, as coaches, we do a lot of personal development work. It's just part of the nature of our business, I think. And so I thought I was choosing a lot of my actions and things like that. And what I really discovered in this class was that, oh, you know, with a lot of observation, I'm like, oh, wait, I'm not choosing this stuff. It's kind of automatically happening. And the nervous system is just doing its thing. Yeah. And in the class, you literally can see it because you're observing, and now you can see exactly what's going on. And but what's great about it is there is no making wrong of it. There's an actual like appreciation of what this body's system is designed to do intentionally. So I also so that part of the impact for me was like, okay, now I get to appreciate how my nervous system, how my body reacts to things. But because I was able to observe it and see it for what it really is, then it opens up a little bit something then where I can now choose my next step. Before, I didn't have a choice. I thought I did, but I really didn't because it was just automatic. And now all of a sudden there's real choice. And with that, for me came, I mean, you always talk about a choice is freedom, but I really got to experience that for myself in this class. So those were some of the impacts for me.
Beautiful, right? I mean, we talk about our reactivity and our clients' reactivity, and if we don't understand, and that gets into changeability, that if they are in a reactive state. The nervous system is in a reactive state. Changeability, big level diminishes. So there is that aspect too, that how do we actually bring the nervous system ourselves in a state of being able to embrace what is happening, and then we can actually interact with another being to make different choices. Yeah, beautiful. So then, what, if anything, that this training help you to discover about yourselves? Go ahead, Nanor.
Okay, well, a lot. I think, okay, so one of the things is I kind of knew that I get stopped when I want to express myself. And I knew that it came from, you know, this place of wanting to please people or not to create conflict. So I knew that. But in this class, so I don't know, it's hard to describe it, but can I just talk about the immobilized and mobilized? Okay, so, you know, I learned a lot of new terminology that I had no clue about.
Those are Tijenisms, by the way.
And they're always welcome. But so what I discovered that I have a lot of things that I immobilize in, whether it's I want to take action and I don't, whether I want to do inaction, I don't, I want to refuse something and I don't. So immobilization was kind of running the show. And so that's great. I got to see that and name it, and now can do something with it. But what was the most profound part was, not only do I, you know, we know that I get stopped, but what was the profound part was to get to the true, authentic missing for me. Because even though I'm getting stopped, there's something that I really needed that wasn't getting filled. And when I found what that was, all of a sudden, all of those fears, worries, pleasers, and I don't know how to describe it, they literally, like, they just melt away. They're no longer present. And for me, that was communion. So when I saw that all of this shenanigan that I'm doing is so that I can get to communion, well, you know what? I don't need to do that anymore. How about I just get to what it looks like to have communion and authentically start creating that? And it's magic. Again, it's magic. And it definitely does calm the nervous system. As you said, the nervous system whisperer is true. The first time you said that in class, I was like, I have no clue what she's talking about. At the end of class, yeah, you do that. And hopefully in time, you know, I'll be able to do that with my clients too. So it's magic.
Absolutely beautiful expression, Nanor. Thank you for that. So in a way that you're sharing with our audience that we all do unnecessary, all excessive overfunctioning to fulfill an hunger, authentic hunger, but in a way that whatever we're doing is not satisfying that hunger. This is why I use that language of what is hungry. And so that the recognition of that and authentically fulfillment of that gets us to stop all that, as you called shenanigans, to actually just get in more effective way fulfillment of the self needs. Yeah. And more authentic connections as well. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Nanor. And what about you, Gaby?
So through the course, you introduced us to Deb Dana's Polyvagal Theory. you know, the different types of parts of the nervous system, I realized through this course that I rest, my system's resting place is in preservation, you know, anxious. So that to me was huge because I didn't realize it until taking this course. So for me, being able to see myself where I usually rest really helps me be able to feel that I can have a say on where I want to go next, right? Maybe I can go to flourish. And if I do need to rest, then I'll stay there. So I think that was a game changer for me. I think so too. I realized too through this course that I can be in two states at one time, which I didn't know before. Like, I want to give an example. Like, I got news that my kids had some, you know, learning disabilities, and you know, they were tested, and I was really sad and upset about it. You know, I was upset. However, at the same time, I was able to coordinate all supportive services for my kids. So to me, it just speaks to how our own nervous system, you know, really is able to cope and is able to give us what we need, but at the same time, being able to give myself the space to kind of go through my feelings and my emotions, but then at the same time, being able to, at the same time, support my kids. So to me, I had no idea that that was even possible. And just being aware of that just really helped me so much. So it was a game changer for me.
Beautiful. Yeah. So more consciousness, more ability to observe and honor the state of biologic responses and not react with urgency, then that's what I call, as a meditation teacher, a pause, right in between, that choose which state that we need to be in and honor the state so that we can progress to the other one when we need to. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I think like a little bit of what you were saying, Gabby, also is, and well, I just want to say that what I want to say is that oftentimes, like when we're coaching the client, we're really coaching. In the past, before these courses, I was trying to coach who they are, but more around their specific problem. But now I'm starting to see that that's not the problem. And it's so fascinating. It's so fascinating because when you get to, as you call it, the thing beneath the thing, it just opens up worlds like you can't believe. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, because it never is the whatever they say, right? And that's a beautiful journey to travel with them, to discover. Absolutely. So you now did a beautiful segue into what I was going to ask next, Nanor. So Gaby, you wanted to share something? Go ahead, please. Yeah, go ahead. So how is this training impacted your coaching? Nanor, let's start with you.
I think so with my coaching, I think even like just with myself first, which impacts my coaching, is I am a lot more aware of my nervous system, and I pause a lot more during my days. And I mean, this might sound a little strange, but I ask my nervous system, like, what does it want now? What does it need to be nourished, feel supported, and all that stuff? Like, I take time out to talk to my nervous system because it's trying to talk something to me when it's triggered.
It takes over. Right. There's no negotiation.
Yeah. I mean, even knowing that, right? Even knowing that, okay, when our nervous system is triggered, it's trying to communicate something. And if we can just pause and ask, what is it trying to say? We might not get an answer, but at least, and we might, I don't know, but at least, that's one thing that has helped me a lot already. With my coaching, I think the area that has helped the most is I am listening a lot deeper, and I'm trying to get to authentically, what is it that this person is trying to say? I mean, you already taught us in a lot of your other classes, even of, there's a word that you use with the funnel, and you say,
Distillation.
yes, with the distillation. So I've already been practicing that, but this class is beyond that, because and when you find that thing that is really at the core of what it is that person is trying to share, they know it, they feel heard, they feel gotten. The other day, I walked into a conversation with two people, and they were in conflict with one another. And I happened to walk into the office, and I was listening at that point because I needed to do something. So I was listening, and they were going back and forth, back and forth. And I stopped them and I said, hey, may I make an observation? And they said yes. And I just shared what I thought was really trying to be said, but not being actually said. And when I did speak that into the room, all of a sudden, one person started crying because that person felt heard and understood. And then the other person who was trying to fight back, all of a sudden had a lot of compassion.
Mm-hmm.
And now, oh, that's what, wait, is that what you're trying to tell me? So the whole conversation shifted when before they were doing that dance that they always do, and then one walks away pissed off and da-da-da. And it completely changed because I was able to bring to surface something that I heard that neither of them could express.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think has shifted in my coaching.
Beautiful, beautiful, skillful listening. Yeah, and often that conflict arises because there is a part of us not being understood or heard. And when we that's where the whispering to the nervous system comes forward. Once we understand and appreciate, then there is a way, there is always a way. But when we hush it, and as you were saying, people pleasing is a hushing the nervous system and not allowing its freedom for self-expression, then the freedom comes forward, and there are possibilities for much deeper connection and authentic life. Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, Nanor. Gaby?
Similar to what Nanor was mentioning about just increased self-awareness for myself. So like if I'm in a particular situation and I'm feeling like feeling uneasy, I'm able to check in with myself and to figure out, okay, what is my real need right now? Do I want to be connected to somebody? Do I want to be heard? What is it that I need? And so being able to have that insight is valuable. And then also for coaching, I think through your course, I understood, through coaching, they teach you, the importance of develop like psychological safety within in a coaching session. I think with your teachings, I'm understanding a little bit more about how you want to have that space, create that space to be able to facilitate change, right? So I think it's just important, and I remind myself of that being able to offer that to my clients. And then lastly, through this course, I feel like when I'm now engaging with clients, like I feel that I'm getting better at really figuring out maybe where their state of where their system is, like where they're at. And so it heightens then my ability to bring more empathy into the room and to understand him, to say like, gosh, this person is reacting this way because they're out of balance. So I think that those three components have really helped me in just becoming a better coach and being able to be very authentic. And when I come forth, and then also opening the door for them to also feel as comfortable as possible to then, work on what they want to work on.
Yeah, beautiful. So for you, then more impact that you're expressing around creating sacred space, as I call it, to support co-regulation, inviting client to that. And also, as Nanor was saying, that supporting them to understand the deeper need. So beautiful. So I think that in your expressions, you're bringing forward some of the things, as I call it, taking beyond polyvagal theory, that taking it beyond where Deb Dana and Stephen Porges brought this theory to. Would any of you like to speak about that beyondness that I took you into this journey during this course, having to read the Deb Dana materials? No.
Yeah, I think one of the big beyond parts for me was in Deb Dana's book. There are the 3 levels, let's say. On
the ladder.
The ladder, the connection, the sympathetic, I think the fight flight basically, and then when you're basically gone in the turtle shell going in and there is no connection. But what I learned in your class is, first of all, there's a lot more than just those 3 positions or ladders. And as Gaby said earlier, you can be in more than one area at the same time. It's not just you're either here or you're either there. You can be in more than one places. And then also, in class, you kept on which I really, again, appreciate, is you always bring appreciation to all of it, right? Where in Deb Dana's work, it's like, you don't want to be down here in I forgot what it was, dorsal. Yeah, you don't want to be in dorsal. It's kind of like the image that it was left for me, at least when reading the book. But for you, it's like, no, sometimes it's okay to be there. There's no problem with that. That's what your nervous system needs. And to have like some appreciation for all the different parts of us, essentially. And that's how I think for me, it kind of went beyond. And I know you talked also a lot about how the bottom part, the dorsal part, is not primitive. We don't want to use the word primitive in our languaging because it's all important.
Yeah.
All good.
Oh, and there are all quite a bit intelligence in our system that I would not want to be judgmental about any functionality and any part. And also there are multiple layers that I brought into the nervous system response scale, and that's what you were talking about. Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Nanor. And anything from you, Gaby, on that?
Yes, I think with this course, you really, I think, instilled in me to really think outside the box, not to feel like, oh, because it's in the book, that means that's the truth. Like, really question it and explore and be playful. As you always say, be playful. So really be explorative and ask those questions and just move forward. Also, I think what I found very, very helpful is your own method, because I think you took it beyond, polyvagal to the method of nervous system functional response skill for self-expression. So I think it's such a move to move forward from the traditional polyvagal approach I was able to identify that because I am able or feel comfortable working with clients and utilizing some of the knowledge that I gained, I'm in mobilized assimilation because I feel comfortable with the information. And I hope to one day be in the transcendence. Like my goal is to be transcendent and to really incorporate all your teachings and then be mobilized and bonding with others. So I think it's just such a new way of thinking and really to support not only my clients, but myself.
Beautiful. Thank you, Gaby. So then I also wanted to hear your thoughts about to speak the different parts of you, the different parts of the nervous system and your learning mechanisms, right? I offer different aspects in learning, such as the homework assignments, the readings, the virtual live discussions, the mentor sessions, and sometimes even music that go along with it. So just wanted to check in with you to see how those different learning modalities through this course or other course were helpful for you, if you wanted to share any thoughts on that. Go ahead, Gaby.
I mean, I really appreciate the diverse opportunities to learn. I think for me personally, the homeworks are very helpful because they really dive in and it's like writing a new narrative, learning this new information, you're rewriting it. So I found that to be very helpful. But I think being able to work with the client and actually utilizing what I'm learning, I think is very important, because then I can then make mistakes, right? Make mistakes and then try again until I got it right. So also the meditations are very helpful. It gets me into doing something that I'm not used to doing. It's not part of my day-to-day. So I think being exposed to those meditations are very, very helpful in conjunction with all the learning with my classmates, with you, and then engaging and feeling very supported within the classroom and being comfortable enough to express myself, and ask questions if needed.
Yeah, beautiful. So what Gaby is talking about, the case study development that is offered throughout the course. And of course, if we're talking about whispering into the nervous system, there is a vessel to do that, is the meditations. Yeah, absolutely. I offer that as part of this training as well. Thank you for that, Gaby. What about your thoughts on that, Nanor?
Yeah, so for me, again, like all the different things that you offer, the first one for me, which is the most valuable, is the safe space that you create. Because I have like 1,001 questions. And I feel comfortable to ask them, even if they seem stupid to me. I don't worry about that when I'm in your groups. So I'm okay to be me. But I love also, you have to pretend like I didn't say this, but I love also when you push back and don't answer some of my questions and you tell me to go out there and kind of do the homework and figure it out, create a diagram. And wow, that is just so valuable. Like I get so much from that. But pretend like I didn't say that, because I still want you to answer my questions.
Yeah.
And, and I love the play that you bring to our classes. You make it light, even though the material is not always light. Some of it is very theoretical, but you make it digestible and you bring in the play. I think another thing that I really like that helps me a lot is all the examples that you bring. You're always giving, whether it's a metaphor to describe what you're trying to explain or an actual real life example of something that happened, that always makes it a lot more relatable for me. And I, just like was Gaby saying, I love I forget what they're called, but the practice classes, the lab, I guess.
Yeah, mentor guided sessions. Yes.
Yes, those I love because, you know, we go to the theory, we learn all this, and now we get to come somewhere and practice it. And that's just, that is, you cannot get rid of that. Yeah, if you can double that, that's even better. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, because I seen a lot of training that gives the information to people and they don't practice it and they forget it afterwards. And that's why that I always add the mentor guided practice along with case study development. So offering two different types of practices. And as you were saying, Nanor, that supporting the participants to develop self-confidence in them, either just asking them to, okay, go find the answer to the question you're asking me, go practice this with your case study client and bring questions to there. And then at the end, we do also case study presentations. So there's value in that as well. Well, thank you. So we've been talking a little bit, but what would you like? You already share some of things. What would you like your audience, our audience, to know about your experience with this training, that Genco Method Neurologic Approach to coaching, taking beyond Polyvagal Theory? Nanor, go ahead.
So for me, I think honestly, it's just, I know I use this word quite a bit today, but that's just what's coming to me, is it's magical. And I think I have some access now to Tijen's secret sauce. So if you all want a little bit of that, you got to take some of the classes. So yeah, I think that's my overall experience, is that I see some of the, not that there is an art and a science to coaching, and I'm starting to see more and more of how you have come to that in your masterful coaching. So
thank you, Nanor. I appreciate that. What about you, Gaby?
So I just want to echo what Nanor is mentioning. I mean, I truly enjoy taking your courses, you know, along too with developing the relationship with my classmates too. I think is important, kind of having that bond with my classmates as well. And then two, if coaches are looking to up their game, I mean, take this course and any other course that you teach, Tijen, because I really think it's life-changing for me, at least, just to be able to kind of take a close look at myself, work on my own stuff, and then be able to then be supportive of my clients as well. Because I can only see, I think, what I have been able to work in. If I don't, I feel like particular situations may go over my head. So I feel like the more I work on me, the more I could be supportive of my clients. So I think you have taught me to partner and do my own work in order to be as supportive as I can to my clients.
Yeah, beautiful. So that's what I call it, buy one and get one free, right? You're buying knowledge for your clients, but it goes through you and changes you along the way. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Gaby. What about you, Nanor?
Yeah, so I again, for me, it was just getting to a little bit more of your secret sauce. And you know, there was one other thing, is, you know, something had happened a little while back where I lost a lot of trust in the world. And I recently noticed that that trust has come back. And I really, I'm sure it was because of this class that I took, because it has opened me up to reconnect with people again on a deeper level. I was avoiding things, and yeah, that trust is back.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you,
Oh,
Tijen.
thank you for sharing that. What a gorgeous thing to share with the world, right?
Thank
So,
you.
oh, that's beautiful. And why don't you also share that, how will our audience find you if they would like to receive your services?
Well, thank you. Well, so my business name is Success Expressed with an ED. So you can either Google that or nanor@successexpress.com.
Beautiful.
I'm happy to help discover your magic.
Yes, and connect to your nervous system, right?
That's right. Yes.
Nanor. And Gaby?
Yes, I can be reached at GabrielaZavala.com. So I have a webpage, and my information is on there specifically for coaching services. So if anybody's interested and wants to take an adventure and see what's in their nervous system, let's go.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, ladies. It's been such a joy and pleasure not only to have you in the class, but also here partnering up with you and sharing the information with our audience. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Of course. All right.